Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. I think everyone understands this to some degree. In this video, I'm going to explain my understanding of it, how I look at this phrase, and how I have seen other people look at this phrase. And I'm going to explain why it's vitally important to build an internal knowledge management system in your brain and a physical knowledge management system, so that as you acquire knowledge on your journey, you can put it into folders. Because here's what I found. I've found that some people don't have a folder for, I don't know, let's say my government isn't working on my behalf, or my church isn't working on my behalf. Fill in whatever blank that you may have come across on your own journey. I've come across those two a lot. Doesn't surprise me. Government and religion are the two most common ways, the two biggest ways to control people, right? This is a topic that's very near and dear to my heart, because if you've been following my channel for a while, or you know anything about me, you may have surmised that I'm an information junkie, right? I'm a knowledge junkie, because again, information that I acquire helps me to improve myself. We all know that. You know it. Reading books, talking to people, going to lectures, watching videos. I even include watching TikToks or Instagram Reels, and also the comments. Just the other day, I ran across an awesome video, or an awesome resource on, I think it was the Atlas Society. It was Instagram, or it was probably Instagram. And it was a resource called The Greatest Truth Never Told. It was this gentleman, a guy, he's talking about the state of the world, right? I mean, I find it ultimately fascinating what's going on in the world. And there's a useful reason that I want to know about the world too. I want to stay safe. I want to stay, keep my head above water. I don't want to get gobbled up, as many people have in the past, and probably many people will, because they don't have knowledge, specific knowledge, right? This guy, okay, anyway, let me get off on this. Let me close this loop here, this idea. The greatest story never told. He's talking about the events unfolding in the world. He's talking about the relationships with all of these heads of states and world leaders, and how they're not what they make themselves. They're not what they appear to be. They're not what they sell us as. And also he has a solution here, keeping his solution will keep people safe if and when a collapse does happen. Right? That's some pretty important knowledge that I certainly want to have. I wish I could remember the name of his channel, but he's got 2 YouTube channels. Just search that title up. And I'll also be putting this in the Great Awakening Guide coming down the line, version number 5. You can pick up V4 at greatawakeningguide.com. That is my, work and effort for the cause, to share knowledge with you and my viewers and audience. All the best resources all in one place, because again, it's all about knowledge. My point in making this video is I hope that here's the real key. It appears to me that some people don't have a file folder for specific knowledge that could help them in their lives. Again, I'm going to talk about the two big two. Knowledge that my government may be hosing me over, or may not have my best interest at heart, and I'll give you what I think is happening. Knowledge that my government may not be working for me. Knowledge that my religious church may not be working for me. And I'll even give you what I find. Knowledge that my government may be working for people with more money than me. Corporations, billionaire philanthropists, right? When the pharmaceutical industry gives Donald Trump $1 million for his 2016 campaign, that's a lot of money. See, in my world, I work for people who give me money, right? I don't work for people other than just goodwill toward men. I don't work as hard for people that don't give me money. If someone gives me money, I'm going to work really hard for them. The salary for the presidency is what? $400 and some thousand. Well, compare that to $1 million. that Donald Trump get for the pharmaceutical industry, who does he work for? That's knowledge that goes into the file folder of my brain that I can apply one day if I need to, of maybe don't take what Donald Trump says at face value if he's saying he works for me, because I have knowledge that he's taken money from these other people. That's what I'm talking about, real world applicable knowledge. Now, also, let's dive into this. And I talked about this in a short video the other day in my short section. I knew the government, specifically the FDA, was not working for me. It hasn't been working for me in a long time. That's knowledge I've acquired, because if you study food and nutrition, you know that they allow all sorts of funny things in the food that is only beneficial to the corporations. Things like preservatives to make it last longer on the shelf. Things like artificial dyes to make it look better than it actually is. It's a trick. It's a deception of the eye. Things like artificial flavor enhancers to make it taste better than it actually is. That's a trick of the senses, right? And the combination of the sugars, the carbs, and the fats they do this thing in their laboratories. The combination of those things excite the senses so much that makes it very addictive. What is sugar? Sugar is super addictive. Some believe it could be the most addictive substance on the planet. I've heard that. Do your own research, acquire your own knowledge. I also want to talk about hydrogenated oils and seed oils. Hydrogenated oils make that food last longer on the shelf. See, all of those things, that knowledge that I've put into that folder of my government may not be working for me, allowed me to arrive to the conclusion that I didn't want to get that thing in 2021 when they said, hey, we've got this thing for you. It's going to help you. The knowledge I'd acquired on my journey had proved to me they're not working for me, so I don't take it. And then I also had in a different file folder, and the fact that my government's not working for me is they gave Donald Trump $1 million. Actually, that knowledge was not in there at the time of 2021. That was acquired when I watched RFK Jr.'s documentary. The knowledge that was in there was the knowledge of pharmaceutical products do not solve problems, they mask symptoms. Pharmaceutical industry appears to, see, you can have levels of knowledge. You can have, if you could rate the knowledge, right? This is what the CIA does. They're like, how credible is this information? Well, this is, a 10. On a 1 to 10, how credible is this information? Is it a 10? Is it more towards a 1 or a 2, But still, you want to put the information in your data banks so that you can analyze it, work with it, use it, correlate it. This is another thing. These covert action agencies, they're doing this all the time. They're saying, well, here's a connection here and here's a connection here. That's the thing. You connect it, connecting the dots. That's all it is about. So what I did have in there about the pharmaceutical industry is that their products don't solve problems. They mask symptoms. They appeared to be pill pushers using the medical system. They appear to be pill pushers. And I never had a flu shot in my life. I did never see a reason. Firsthand, I've never known anyone to have any problem whatsoever with the flu. None. That I can remember. Remember, if I'm going to do something in a hasty, rushing, quick way, especially if it's a brand new technology that's never been done in the human body before, I don't care how many tests happened at the GOV level or at the pharma level. Again, I don't trust those people. The knowledge I've acquired has already shown me be skeptical of these people. Not just to mention the food industry. The federal government takes my tax dollars and bails out Wall Street when they mess up, playing risky business, again, causing problems in the world. The federal government buys bombs from the bomb manufacturers to drop on women and little kids in other parts of the world, my brothers and sisters. I'm not down with that. They're not trustworthy people to me. Many things, like I said in that video, I didn't even have to give it one thought. I don't trust those people. They haven't proven me their trust. And because I didn't watch the news, I wasn't in fear mode. I wasn't conditioned Again, you know, when you know how these covert action agencies and governments work, it's all propaganda, brainwashing, and fear and rushing and creating anxious states and using trauma to make people do things they wouldn't normally do. That's the name of the game. In a nutshell, that's what it is. That's been my experience, you know. So I already had done the research. Boom. That's the benefit of having an internal or external knowledge management system, information management system, is that you'll go through life acquiring information, putting it where it needs to be. And you don't need to write it down per se. You don't need to actually create a digital file. You just put it in your data banks, right? You go through life acquiring information. Then when something happens, you already know the answer because you've already done the homework, right? Many people now know the answer because I'm one of them. So the last 3 or 4 years, we've acquired so much knowledge and information about the gov, about pharma, about the media. Now, moving forward, those people, we're all going to make better decisions. That's the benefit of a workable, robust, ever-growing, interconnected knowledge management system, is that you go through life, and the more you walk on your journey, the better and more accurate your knowledge gets, because you're continually gathering knowledge. We are all like an agent working in a covert action agency. I do believe this is a fallen world. That's the new knowledge that I'm arriving at. I do believe this is a fallen world. We're all agents of God, working for God, going through this fallen world, acquiring this knowledge and being like, using our discernment, using our intuition, judging, thinking, critically thinking, assessing, risk analysis. What's my risk? If you can believe then, if it's 99.5, that was another factor. Again, because of we all have a brain. 99.5, I've never seen anyone have any problem from any flu or any type of thing like that. I don't trust my government. I don't trust the pharmaceutical industries. I put all of that data, and some of it is real world tangible data that I've seen with my own eyes. Specifically, they never have known anyone to pass away from the flu. Maybe I've heard about people, elderly, pass away from the flu, but I'm not going to that's an outlier. You know what I'm saying? That if a 95-year-old man passes away from the flu, is that really a relevant factor for a 50-year-old man or a 48-year-old man? Not in my book. Again, I've never seen anyone in my demographic have a problem. Now, some people you say that to, and they will lose their shit because they are completely controlled by the media industrial complex. And they're brainwashed and they've been propagandized. You cannot talk these people off the ledge. I think now many people are waking up because it was such an overt, DECEPTION that they pulled off, that people are like, oh, I get you now. And many people have been speaking up and sharing knowledge and information. That's why I started sharing knowledge and information. I mean, when you really see the level of lies and deception in the world, you're like, oh shit. Is somebody going to do something about this? I guess I'll talk about this, because this is my world too. I, like you, am 1/8 billionth, if you can believe their numbers on how many people are on Earth, 1/8 billionth owner and steward of this world. And I have not only a right, but I have a moral and ethical obligation when I see a problem to talk about that problem, because I want to improve the world. I want to have a better experience in this world. That's the whole point of my podcast for 149, soon to be 150 episodes as I button that up. Enhancing the human experience. The whole purpose of life is to have improved life, not only for yourself, but for other people. Knowledge is the way. Knowledge that you don't reject or accept immediately. Just put it in. That's why the value of having a file folder everyone should have a file folder for my government's hosing me over and my church might be hosing me over, just in case. Again, because those are the two entities that have historically hosed over humanity the most. Have a file folder for food and nutrition. Okay, let's be honest. That is what one of the components of One Life is, right? This wasn't meant to be a sales pitch, but this is what the One Life system is. One Life, if you recall, is a system for living. It's a system for knowing yourself, knowing your purpose in the world, executing that purpose every day, right? Overcoming the fear, the doubt, the anxiety, the discouragement, the it's not working factor, and continuing the path every day. Because if you're on your purpose, it doesn't matter whether you think it's working or not, it's working. But also in there, in the One Life system is a project management system that I've developed in 17 years working in design and space planning and structural design, project management type of situations, creating things, solving problems, project management system, but also a knowledge management system. And the core concept of One Life, like I alluded to earlier, and also with this knowledge management system, is execution. Action, not simply acquiring knowledge for the sake of acquiring knowledge, but how are you going to use it? That's why everything that goes into the One Life system, all of the different components that work together to help you do your work in the world, help you win the game of life. It is a gamification-based system. It's all based on action, execution of your talents in the world, execution, you creating valuable products and services for people in the world, because that's how you win and the rest of us win. But that's what One Life is, because it's a knowledge management system. I forget where I was going with that thought, but other than the fact of to tell you, this whole idea is baked into One Life. But it's vitally important to create that file folder system so that you can continually put information and knowledge in there. That's the only way people are going to improve their lives. It's the only way to improve your life. Again, I was inspired to make this video because it appears to me that some people don't have file folders in their brain for some of these very important areas of knowledge. Again, I will say it again, the government and all of their different agencies and all of the different war efforts and all of the different pandemic efforts, and then also for churches and religion. It's vitally important because those are the two most important power and control mechanism for society. That's my piece. That's my piece. I hope this video has helped you. If it has, leave me a thumbs up. Go check out One Life at thisismyonelife.com. That again is it's the system for living, right? And if you haven't downloaded Great Awakening Guide, you can do that at greatawakeningguide.com. Also, because this is another project near and dear to my heart, is if you are looking to create either a side business or you want to potentially make a full-time income, I want to invite you to check out the other product that I sell. Is called Media Business Blueprint. What you're seeing right here is me doing my media business. And you can look at my YouTube channel and my social media, and you can see the fruits of my labor over I started in 2013. And then as time went on, there are milestones along that journey when I, went all in in a bigger way. 2017, I believe, was when I started the podcast, and that ramped up my media creation. And then of course, 2021 or 2022, I had a pivotal shift. It's a labor of love for me. If that's something you're interested in, go check out mediabusinessblueprint.com. And here's the thing. Right now, there is an incredible opportunity in our world. People are waking up like never before. Something's happening in our world. I don't know what it is. I don't know what to attribute it to, but something's happening in our world. People are seeing through the lies and deception of the mainstream media. They're seeing through lies and deception of politicians, of corporations. Look what's happening. There's a mass awakening happening right now. There is an opportunity for people that want to be a part of that and share knowledge and information and build a media business around topics that you are passionate about, right? I'm not telling you to talk about something that doesn't interest you, because that won't ever work. You've got to love talking about it. You've got to also know something about it, but that happens as you acquire knowledge yourself. I call it being in the it's two things. It's the information business, but also it's the entertainment business, because people aren't going to watch you if you're just sitting up there going blah 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 A B C D. Actually, they might. I might. I don't care how dry it is. If it's good, if it's good solid intel, I'm gonna listen to that. But I digress. Infotainment is the way, and then again, I talk more about that in the Media Business Blueprint, and also your own personal signature, your fingerprint, your brand, your energy, right? My media looks different from other people's media because I'm a unique individual. You're a unique individual. But my point is this. There's an incredible opportunity right now for people, if they want to start a digital media business, exposing the lies and deception in our world in a greater way to an audience, and also solving that audience's problems. Again, this depends on your walk in life, what the problems you've solved for yourself, creating products, services, or experiences that add value to their life. Check it out at MediaBusinessBlueprint.com. I'd love to help you in that endeavor if that's something you're interested in. That's it. I appreciate you watching, and I will talk to you in the next one. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.